A U.S. government memo which illustrates that U.S. Air Force intelligence already knew that many flying saucers were interplanetary ships but were covering it up. In fact, Major General John A. Samford DIRNSA held a press conference in 1952 to debunk the interplanetary theory and stated that virtually all sightings could be explained. This is a lie since experts at Air Technical Intelligence Center have ruled it out. FBI Assistant Director Ralph Mayer, MRS Mayer and Richard Boswell witness a flying saucer over the Miami Beach area on the July 29, 1952 of Eben, German, or U.S. construction. According to Lieutenant Colonel Wendell C. Stevens, U.S. Air Corps test pilot and Air Force intelligence, the 90-foot diameter silver flying saucer that crashed on the July 7, 1948 between 8 to 30 miles south SW of Laredo, Texas was only one of 32 German Kugelblitz discs brought to the U.S. after the Second World War. It was being tested from the White Sands missile firing range with a rhesus monkey on board during a test flight when the U.S. Air Corps lost control. The bulk of the debris was sent to San Antonio Air Depot by a special U.S. retrieval team. The U.S. Secretary of State at the time, George C. Marshall, reportedly intervened directly with the Mexican government and obtained permission for U.S. Army personnel to recover the remains of a U.S. special test vehicle that had gone out of control and crashed in Mexico. He further stated that some Honbu-class flying discs were 100 feet in diameter whereas the Vril-class saucers were around 30 feet in diameter. Prof. Clarence Rainwater from the University of Miami calculated that the flying object filmed by U.S. Marine Corps photographer Ralph Mayer around 9:30 p.m. on the July 29, 1952 was traveling at 7,550 miles per hour and was approximately 27 feet in diameter. Mayer concluded that this flying saucer was the same one as the ones observed over Washington, D.C. a few days earlier between the 12th to July 29, 1952. Left. The two flyers who witnessed the flying saucer on the July 30 at about the same time over the Miami Beach area on their flight back to Miami, as did Lieutenant I.M. Bloom in another aircraft, as reported in the Miami Herald on the July 31, 1952. There are only three possible explanations. The flying saucers observed in the southern United States between 1945 and 1955 were 1 experimental U.S. reproductions of German flying saucers, 2 German flying saucers from Base 211 in Antarctica, Argentina, or Chile, or 3 the saucers belonged to the Eben and other extraterrestrial races. Probable answer based on frequency of sightings: 155%, 25%, 340%. Below. Walter Cronkite, America's most respected news reporter who had been a WW2 correspondent, saw a UFO destroy a ballistic missile as it was being launched. A U.S. government memo which illustrates